So in the first 12 years of Cam Newton's career, we have won 2 Super Bowls. And we haven't really looked at his stats. So in this episode, we're going to look at his stats because I believe that this is coming to an end. Usually quarterbacks start to retire around age 35, 36, and, beyond that. But for the most part, around 35, 36. So we're going to have to rebuild this team up just a little bit because we're going to be losing 4 guys that were pretty important pieces to this roster. Robbie Gould is also going to retire. Hester, the fullback for the Chargers, and this he retires as a Buffalo Bill. You also see Haloti Ngata gets Nada. You get Nada versus Haloti Ngata. He is going to call it a career. Ryan Khalil, our former center, is also going to call it a career as well. So we will bring back Scott, our slot receiver. Gonna bring back Kendrick, our kicker. Bonner, our tight end. Gonna bring him back as well. And then everybody else, I'm gonna give you your walk-in papers. Wheeler, he was one of our better draft picks, but as you can see, he's starting to regress. So it's time to give him his walk-in papers up out of Carolina. All right, time for you to get the heck up out of here. Cam Newton is now 78 overall. So this will be the moment in time when we start to look away from Cam Newton, or at least look for his replacement, because our best player is still a receiver at 93 overall, all right? And he is an absolute beast. We would want to maximize his talent or trade him, but I don't want to trade him because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find somebody as good as him in the draft because we draft so late, being, the Super Bowl winners. Our left guard is the best player on the team at 98 overall. Defense is pretty solid. Cornerbacks on this team have always been in the 80s, which I'm loving. Secondary is good. Linebacker core is okay. And the D-line is pretty good. Only thing is that we got to replace some guys, and we're going to do that with Marcel Darius, the number 1 defensive end in free agency. We're also going to bring in Ruth, and we're going to bring in Harris. So kind of upgrading, kind of staying where we were, but the contracts aren't crazy. We still got $19 million to play with. After we sign these guys, it goes down just a little bit. The running back that we selected at pick number 32, he was the highest overall guy in the draft at that pick. And I was like, I guess we could take him. We don't really need halfback, but all the other positions, we really didn't need. The only guy that we needed is like a quarterback, but we're going to trust Cam, and Cam is going to lead us back to the playoffs. If he can lead us to the playoffs, then hopefully he can lead us to that Super Bowl yet again. So the Buccaneers had a top 10 pick. The Saints had a top 10 pick. So the division is really between us and the Falcons, it looks like, moving forward. So we got 2 80 overall halfbacks, with Law being the better of the 2 at 82 overall. The rest of our receivers are down in the 70s, which isn't great. Bonner has all kinds of speed at tight end, but only 73 overall. Left tackle is solid at 83. Left guard is great at 98, future Hall of Famer. Center is good. Right guard is good. And right tackle is good. So I'm pretty proud about how we were able to develop our offensive line. And then Marcel Darius, he's there at right end. Our D tackle isn't necessarily a 3-4 defense or nose guard, I should say, right? He's not a traditional nose guard, but I do think that he could be serviceable in that spot. But, hey, what do I know? I don't know too much. I'm kind of just guessing at this moment in time, and we went 4-12. So we went from being the best team in the whole National Football League to being the second worst team in the National Football League. Cam Newton, he finishes with 1 Pro Bowl because I don't think he's going to get there because he can only go down from here. I don't think he's going to progress anymore. He is in the regression part of his career. Numbers have been solid, though, every single year. More touchdowns than interceptions every single year. It was hard for me to try to get him to scramble more. I think maybe I could have figured out a way for him to do it during the Sims. But it is what it is. But he was a solid quarterback, passing wise, kind of in that Troy Aikman mode. Obviously, he threw for more touchdowns than Troy Aikman did. Troy Aikman, historically, I believe only threw 20 touchdowns just one time in his career. Cam was over that, but he never was like elite, throwing like 30, 35, 40 touchdowns in a season. But obviously, being a 2-time Super Bowl champ, that doesn't really matter. So now we're going to have a high draft pick And do we try to find somebody in the draft that can really help us? Do we try free agency again? Those are going to be the questions moving forward because, again, our window, if it hasn't closed already, is starting to shut. And it's shutting quickly, if you ask me. The Ravens beat the Patriots in the wild card round. The Giants were the same. The Colts over the Chargers and the Packers over the Falcons. The Jaguars over the Ravens. The G-Men go to Detroit and beat the Lions. The Colts over the Jets and the Seahawks over the Packers in overtime. Then you got the Jaguars over the Colts and the Giants over the Seahawks. Pro Bowl, AFC beats the NFC, and the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Giants, and the Giants win in the Tom Coughlin Super Bowl. So 27-15 is the final in that ball game. So now we have to head to the offseason. We need a new head coach. And I'm like, yo, Tom Coughlin, you had one bad season. I want you back, baby. He was like, I'm going to go coach the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe he sees that the writing is on the wall. So bring in Larry Fitzgerald because he could help our receiving core. And I'm thinking him helping our receiving core could help out Cam Newton. Like, does that make sense? Do you get what I'm getting at? Because receivers and quarterbacks are tied together, maybe if he could help the receivers, like you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. Joe Flacco's calling it a career. Miles actually picked off Cam Newton in one of those playoff games we played the Detroit Lions. He is going to retire as well. Gresham is calling it a career. So Augustus, he needs a new contract. He's getting it. 99 overall, might be the best player in the National Football League regardless of position. Pierre, we're going to re-sign him. Got $68 million in cap. Now we got $63 million in cap. I'm going to try to keep this team together and, of course, upgrade it as well. Let's move forward to right guard. Evans has been here for a while. He wants a one-year deal. I will give you a one-year deal. Durham, you've been here for a while. I'll give you a one-year deal as well, because at the very least, we'll have depth. And I noticed that when we've had depth, the CPU loves us a little bit more when it comes to simming. Cam Newton is now getting a one-year deal as well. Law, I'm going to bring him back. I was going to pass on him because he wanted more money than I wanted to give him. But then I was like, why not? We got money to blow. So these are the guys that we're going to get rid of. I think I called my kicker Kendrick. It's Frederick. What am I thinking? I don't even know my own roster like that. So we're going to get rid of the rest of these guys. And now we're going to head to free agency. And as you can see, Cam Newton is no longer our best quarterback. So times are rough in Carolina. Your best quarterback can't start because this is about Cam. And Cam is going to be that guy regardless if he's the best guy on the roster or not. We got to find Marcel Darius a backup. Probably got to find a true nose tackle this year. Middle linebacker. Well, actually, I think Arizona ran a 4-3, and I'm pretty sure Larry Fitzgerald going to bring that defense with us. But we really don't fit that scheme. So we went crazy in free agency. Douglas, kicker, 87 overall. Tynes, 87 overall halfback. We got Dickinson. We got Hobbs. We got Julio Jones. We got Clayton to play receiver for us. We got Golson. He's a tight end at 77 overall. And then Watkins, punter at 76 overall. And then went after free safety. Free safety wasn't a need, but he was the best player available. And I was like, let's take the best guy, and we can move guys around on the defensive side of the ball. So whoever played free safety for us could play, I don't know, dime cornerback, nickel cornerback, maybe strong safety if we need something like that. Because in this game and in most Maddens nowadays, you have the option to have a strong nickel where you have a safety or a weak nickel. It's a strong dime. Maybe it's a strong dime I'm thinking about when you have your strong safety play that nickel cornerback or that dime cornerback position. All right. So now we will be switching Montgomery to strong safety. He was a free safety. Had a bunch of those. And we ended up going 5-11. So it's a one-game improvement from last year, obviously. Cam Newton taking steps all the way back. 15 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, Tynes, 1,400 yards. So I'm thinking with all these running backs that we have, and the guy that we drafted, AC, in the first round when we just won the Super Bowl at pick 32, he's turned out to be, I don't know if you can call him a bust, being the last pick in the first round, but he's definitely not who we thought he was. But we do have running backs. Still have Law. We still have Malone. So maybe next year, if Cam is still around, we're going to focus on the rushing attack, go to the coaching sliders, and just knock that thing all the way up. Maybe not all the way up, but we're going to focus on the ground game heavily next season. When it comes to interceptions, our linebackers, they led the way. And that's probably not a recipe for success to have your linebackers lead the way in that category. So it's going to be a long time probably before we see a Carolina Panther win the MVP, win Offensive Player of the Year, be one of the best players at their position. I mean, left guard, we could win offensive lineman probably, but best offensive lineman, but that's probably not going to happen. The Bengals over the Jets, the Eagles over the Niners, the Browns over the Dolphins, and the Falcons over the Dallas Cowboys in Wild Card Weekend. Divisional round, Chargers beat the Bengals, Packers over the Falcons, the Browns over the Titans, and the G-Men over the Eagles. The Browns win, the Packers win, so it's going to be a Packers Super Bowl. The AFC squad beat the NFC squad, and the Packers get the job done in the Super Bowl here in year 14. Absolutely phenomenal. Julio Jones calls it a career. Jefferson, who stayed with the Carolina Panthers his whole career, is also calling it a career. We only got money to re-sign our center and to give Cam Newton another 1-year deal, and that's what you see right here, $850,000. Not bad. Now, scrambling was up. It wasn't all the way up, obviously, because he's been passing more than he's been running, but maybe next time I'll focus more on having him run more, but I don't know if that will work this stage in his career. So we're going to focus on the actual running game. Again, Larry Fitzgerald, his philosophy was a lot different than Mike Tomlin and a lot different than John Fox, who was the coach when we started this. So Cam, those numbers are awful, but it's week number 1. You're taking on the New England Patriots. Let's get the job done. We're going to go I formation, hand the ball off the Tines, right up the gut, and he's going to pick up a decent gain of around 14 yards in the first down. Third down, now we're going to fire it to Clayton, and that pass will hit the grass. So we got to give the ball back to the Patriots for the first time and lock it to the left side. Going to pick up a gain of 12 and a fresh set of 10. Third down and 6 for their quarterback, and he's going to fire that one to Holmes, and Carrington is going to be on the board with a nice completion. They're going to go for it on 4th and 2, and Wesley has a first down. Into the second quarter now, Carrington looking. Carrington going to get dropped, and that's Big Burke. So like I said, not the greatest 3-4, but in this game we're going 4-3. We're turning back the hands of time, going with the 4-3 defense for this gameplay, and it works out. Another sack. Montgomery has it, and just like that, we're in Patriots territory. 2nd down and 8 for Big Cam. Fires to the flat, and Tynes is going to score. Great block right there by Short, and now we got ourselves a first down and a touchdown. But we missed the PAT. That's what we do, okay? We're going to miss PATs. We force a 3. Now we get the football right back. Clayton comes through with a catch right there. Going to throw it to Clayton yet again. Another catch. Use those slot receivers. It is a must in this game. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Cam looking, firing it to a wide open Clayton. Nice spin move, but it leads to us going out of bounds. 12 seconds on the clock. 2nd down and 9. Give that man a touchdown. Golson in the end zone. Cam Newton throwing nothing but dots out there, and we made the PAT this time. Okay, 13-3 is the score. They fire this one over the middle. That's going to be caught by Justice, and that's going to result in a first down to the midfield. Now 4th quarter action. Going to go right back to Justice. He gets away to the 20, inside the 15, and he's going to take it to the crib. Touchdown, New England. So the Patriots are now down by just 3. We take over the chance to put this game on ice. Looking downfield, that pass caught by Scott. Did I call him Short earlier? I do not know this roster. There's been too many players. It's been too many, okay? His name is Scott, not Short. Golson over the middle. He makes a catch right there. 3:35 on the clock. Give it to Law. Great running, great blocking. Follow the big fullback to glory. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Cam dropping back, throws it. And our man's still getting it done. Inside the 15, he rumbles. 2nd down and 4. Minute 56 on the clock. Gonna run the ball with Tynes. Up, that got touchdown. And just like that, the Carolina Panthers are up by 10 points. So they do got some time, but they only got 2 timeouts. Got to hurry up. Justice makes the catch in the inside Carolina territory down to the 26-yard line now. 2nd down and 3. That pass going to be caught by Holmes, and Holmes works his way up to the 10-yard line. So first down and 10. They can still get a first down without getting a touchdown. And I thought I jumped that one perfectly for Yahoos. They heard, but it wasn't meant to be. 3rd down and 4. 20 seconds on the clock. 1 timeout left for the Patriots. They fire to the end zone, and Holmes hauls it in. So they got to go for the onside kick. But the question is, can they get the onside kick? And the answer to that question is a big, fat no. Scott is there for the recovery. Thank you for recovering that football after I butchered your name. Let's move on. That was week number 1. We will simulate the rest of the season. And the rest of the season, did it go poorly for us? Did we sneak into the playoffs? it went bad. 5-11 yet again. The writing is on the wall. Cam Newton's been in this game for 15 years, and I think it's about time that he retires, or we're just going to force him out. I'm going to cut him. Okay, I'm not going to cut him. We're going to keep going until he figures out what he wants to do. He threw the ball just 34 times this season. We ran the ball with times 392 times, 1,695 yards, 10 TDs, and that was the league leading in rushing. Our man Times led the league. That's a good look. Did it translate to wins? Not necessarily. Sacks weren't really there. Again, I built a 4-3 team because that's what John Fox ran when he was here. And then we had to change it up when Mike Tomlin got here to fit what he likes to do with the 3-4. And then this season, it was back to a 4-3, but we had 3-4 personnel. And it just didn't work out for us, man. So I probably could have done a better job of building this team up after the Mike Tomlin years, but it was just looking at Cam starting to go down. I was like, how much of a chance do we actually have? And we probably should have done a better job trading some guys, getting some draft picks in. But in my heart of hearts, I don't think that would have mattered too much. I really don't. So conference championship game, Titans over the Chiefs. Eagles, they beat the Packers. The NFC squad beats the AFC squad. And the Eagles fly, beat the Tennessee Titans. And that is going to do it because, as you can see, big Cam Newton has finally retired at age 37. So that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys enjoyed this series. We will be coming back with some more rebuilds. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope that the rest of your day is the best of your day. And until we meet again, my friends, peace, love, hot sauce.